Y'all listen to me. I can do whatever I want in this bar because I'm the owner's friend, okay?
Okay, now that I'm no longer working here, let me tell you how we all think about you, like, honestly.
Oh, you think you're so tough, huh? I'm gonna get y'all fired.
Nice try, but how can you fire someone who already quit the job? Now, for every likes this video gets, one Karen will be banned from a bar for life. So please, smash that thumbs up and notification buttons. To the story. Patient wants me to book him an appointment with the doctor while I'm shopping in a supermarket. I work as a medical receptionist at my local doctor's. We have 12 GPs working. We have 12 GPs working there, plus audiologists, physio, and psychologists. I was shopping one day at Woolworths with my 2 children in tow. Not in uniform, hair down, obviously not working, just trying to buy groceries. It's quite common for me to bump into patients in my area as I work and live in the same suburb. I don't acknowledge them unless they acknowledge me. I'm happy to make a small talk and go about my day. So, I'm walking down the aisle at our local supermarket, and a mother 80 years old plus and her son 50-ish years old who are regulars at the clinic see me and say hello. Son, hello there, Bagheera. Me, hello. Son, lovely day today, isn't it? Mom and I are just doing our shop. I'm trying to stop my 7 years old from putting unnecessary items in the trolley. Me, well, it's a lovely day. I hope you both enjoy the rest of the day. Slowly trying to wrap the conversation up and carry on. Son, Bagheera, I want to see Dr. XYZ on Monday for both Mom and I. Around 3 p.m. should be okay. Me, well, I'm not at work at the moment, but you can give other girls a call at the reception and they'll book you in. See you on Monday. I still kind of think he's joking at this point, so I go to walk off with the kids. Son, can't you just book it in when you get there? You know our details. Me, I don't even know if it's available. You have to call them. Son, I guess I'll just pop by after our shopping. Me, no problem. Have a great day. I carry on with my shopping, go to check out at the self-serve. He's also there. Son, sure you can do it for us, Bagheera? You'll be in this afternoon anyway, won't you? Me will call me this afternoon while I'm there, and I will see what I can do. There isn't anything I can do now. I'm shopping and I don't have a computer in front of me. It is so hard trying to remain polite and courteous when all I want to say is screw off, I'm shopping with my kids. Even my 10 years old was wondering what the hell was going on. On the way to the car, she said, how are you supposed to book an appointment for him? I thought he was joking at first. ETA, to clarify, this happened around like 6 months ago and I live in Australia. Well, self-important was the first thing that came to mind to describe these people. To the second story. Finally, got to tell a customer what we'd all been thinking. A while back, I was a server/bartender at an upscale restaurant and was dating another bartender and was good friends with 2 of the managers. The owner was a pompous jerk, but had 2 locations, but never was at my location. The other one was in a trendy part of the town, so of course he had to be seen there. We had this one lady who loved to come to the bar. She would tell anyone and everyone working that she was friends with the owner. Actually true. And used to that to treat everyone like crap. Snapping fingers, calling out, "Hey you, I need another drink." All while bragging about the car she drove, the presents that her boyfriends would give her. Since she was actually friends with the owner, we just took it. We knew she would get most, if not all, her tab comped and not tipped, so we just shuddered when she walked in. She had 2 steady boyfriends and a third that seemed to rotate. Well, she was good looking, if you like fake parts. We called her entitled C-word. When she was with a boyfriend, she was only a bit horrible, but when she was alone, she would get really drunk and piss off other patrons or hit older men to the point that they would leave, affecting your tips all night. It's one thing if I know it's just one tab I'm getting screwed on, another thing entirely when you affect my whole night. Fast forward about 8 months. I left the job to go back to school full-time, but my girlfriend is still bartending there, and I would go in frequently to have a meal on the cheap and free beer or two. One of these nights, she shows up. Lady snaps at my girlfriend.
I need another Chardonnay, quick.
Girlfriend, who's talking another customer's food order? I'll be right there in a minute. Lady looks at me.
Yeah, you work here, get me a drink.
Me, watching the game on TV and eating my dinner, ignores her.
Lady
Gets in my face.
You, I was talking to you. Get me my drink.
Me, ma'am, I don't even work here anymore. Lady,
oh yes you do. I see you working here all the time. Get me my drink. Don't you know who I am? I know the owner.
I looked at my girlfriend and gave her a little smirk as if to say, may I? And she nods back. I didn't want her to get into trouble, but the friendly manager was working that night and the owner was nowhere to be found. The stars had aligned. Me, I don't work here, and since I don't, let me tell you what everyone who does work here thinks of you. You are the singularly most obnoxious guest that walks through these doors. We call you the entitled C-word behind your back. You are a drunk, a gold digger, and a fake from head to toe. We count down the minutes until you leave. I turn to the boyfriends that's with her that night. You know she has at least 2 other boyfriends, right? Apparently, no one has ever talked to her like that before, and her jaw is on the floor. You can see the hamster wheels spinning in her tiny brain and knowing the crap show that I have started. Sit back and take a long drink of my beer and prepare to get reamed out. But before she can start, her boyfriend goes, "What?" Apparently, he did not know about the other boyfriends. So what I thought was going to be a rant-filled butt chewing coming my way turned completely 180 on her. He starts going off on her and the restaurant is dead silent listening to him ream her out. How could she be sleeping around after all he has done for her? Cars, condos, presents. After all of that, she was screwing around on him. He storms out and she runs after him. That was one of the sweetest beers of my life. After story, of course, she called the owner and talked BS about me, but he confirmed I no longer worked there. My girlfriend got written up for allowing me to talk like that, but she never came back to that location. I was banned by the owner, but since he rarely was in, I still got to hang out with my girlfriend and manager friend. For those asking, this was about 8 years ago. After the incident, the horrible lady just started going to the other location. Since then, the owner's restaurants have shuttered because he was a horrible owner. My girlfriend and I broke up amicably, and she went on to run a restaurant with a James Beard awarded chef. The nice manager opened up his own place and is doing very well. Well, I love what you told to that gold digger Karen. To the third story, I laughed in a woman's face. I was in Sephora on Thursday afternoon looking for presents for my sisters. I had my wallet, phone, and items in my hands and was wearing earbuds. I cut a lady off when turning out of an aisle, so I apologized and smiled before starting to walk away. A few seconds later, she's right next to me and staring straight at me. So I took out an earbud and said, excuse me? She asked if I worked there, and I say, no sorry. I start to put my earbud back. I take my podcast very seriously. She looks at me dead in the eyes and says, well, fine then, tramp. Before I knew what was happening, I let out a snort of laughter. I started in my nasal passage and ended in the back of my throat. She was shocked. I was shocked. It was loud and unexpected. Fortunately, if you've ever been in a Sephora, you know the employees are on you like bloodhound. I just kept laughing as an employee escorted her away. I don't know if it was the week I'd had, the stress of the upcoming holidays, or me being desensitized due to lurking on the sub, but that laugh was one of the most therapeutic things to happen to me in a while. Bless you, Sephora Karen. She was angry at you for not working there? What is wrong with people? On to the fourth story. Actually, lady, you're the one who works here. In my area, we have a community garden that is run by volunteers, including me. It's pretty standard community garden rules. At the start of the season, you get an assigned plot and pay, you plant things there, and take care of your little garden area. If you don't plant, or you don't care of your plot, you lose it to the next person on the waiting list. It's the first thing of its kind in our area, and there is a pretty long waiting list. Because our garden is run by unpaid volunteers, we have been somewhat slow to contact people whose plots have not been planted. We were almost 2 months into the season before I emailed the few errand people for the first time. Almost everyone responded immediately. There was just one empty plot that remained empty. After another few weeks of emails, I actually called the number of the lady who the plot was assigned to. I will call this lady Not a Gardener, or Nag for short. Nag was shocked to hear that she was in danger of losing her plot, and furious. I get it, maybe the emails weren't received. One of us should have called her right away. She kept demanding to talk to the person in charge and kept asking about her vegetables and who was at fault for this negligence. I apologized again and just let her know that she needed to come and plant soon or give the plot up. I got off the phone as quickly as possible because I did not want to deal with her. I had the pleasure of meeting Nag the following weekend when I was in the garden with my 2 little kids. Nag marched over to me and with no introduction immediately started in again about the negligence and how could we be so unprofessional and where were her vegetables. She was puffy and angry and very, very rude. She wouldn't let me finish a sentence and was trying to tell me that she was going to get me fired from my volunteer garden position. I was trying to calm her down, but she wouldn't let me get a few words into it before she interrupted me. Finally, to get away from my kids, I said, let's go and see your plot. We walked over to the area where her plot was, and it was very clear that it was the only neglected plot in the whole garden. The other plot have many plants already growing big. You can see peppers and tomatoes starting to be ready, cucumbers climbing all over the place, and a huge variety of greens and herbs. Nag's plot is dirt and weeds. Nag basically stops dead in her track, sputters a bit, and then her whole tone changes. She went from being angry to wailing and crying about how could we do this to her? How could we treat her like this? What had she done to us? Was it because she was new? Because she was an American? Oh, poor her. She deserved better. What about her vegetables that she really needed her vegetables? She gets little hysterical and starts to point out plots that are grown and have vegetables and demanding those. She even went as far as to try and grab a green tomato from the neighborhood plot, but her heels slipped a little and she almost fell. This set her off more, and she is making quite a show so others in the garden come over to check on her. As she wails on, I suddenly realize what is happening. Nag thought that the community garden meant that we were going to garden for her, and her fee at the start of the year is for us to plant her vegetables and care for her plot and harvest her veggies for her. She has been sitting at home all this time expecting vegetable deliveries. I should have figured out it sooner, but all I wanted was to not deal with her, so I wasn't paying as much attention to her as I should have. Also, the garden rules are pretty clear, and when she paid, she signed an agreement to the rules. I explained it nicely as I could to Nag. The plants are for her to plant and grow. Her small fee only covers the cost of the land and irrigation system. If she wants the vegetables she's been demanding, she needs to plant them and care for them. It is her job, not ours. She's the one that works on her plot, not us. It takes a few tries to get this through, and luckily, another volunteer is there to be with me as a backup. She, of course, gets angry again about how no one told her, but she signed the paperwork, and it's all very clear there. I let her know that there's some money left. If she wants her fee back, we'll give it to her and give her plot to the next person on the waiting list. She yelled at me, "That won't be necessary," which was funny because it's a polite sentence, but she said it in the rudest way possible, and she stomps off out of the gate and away. The next weekend, I go to the garden and surprise, her plot is planted and it looks great. She has a good variety and things are done neatly. There are little paver stones to walk on and tons of veggies. It turns out she has hired a professional gardener to do her community garden plot for her and deliver the veggies. He's the best guy, he's very nice and polite and happy to talk about why the tomatoes are dying or how to add more potassium through the compost. He's willing to babysit other plots if other people are on vacations. He's super friendly and it's great to run into him. He has set out seedlings for anyone to take a number of times as well. I am so happy to not have to see Nag ever again and instead we have an awesome new friend. TLDR, lady thinks it's someone else's job to take care for her community garden plot. I wonder what that ended up costing her versus like just buying vegetables straight from a farmer's market. That's it for today, fellow humans. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time.